Alright, here we go. So, reminder, the definition of logarithm, you can rewrite a log as an exponential. You'll see why I needed to mention this in a minute. Alright, so you're going to use the property of log to combine this. So this is log base 2 of x plus 4 minus, what does a minus do to the logs?
Fraction.
Right, it makes it a fraction. So it's x plus 4 over 9 equals 1.
Multiply by 9.
Now we're going to do the definition of log first. So it's 2 to the 1 equals x plus 4 over 9. Now we multiply by 9. So we're going to multiply by 9.
Why are we doing that?
Why are we doing what?
Like,
This step right here?
yeah.
Because there was no log over here. Right? Yesterday, there was a log on both sides. Today, one side does not have a log in it.
Okay.
Dang.
So now we multiply by 9, so that's 18. Right? 2 to the first is just 2. So it's 2 times 9. Subtract 4, 14
Now,
equals
whatever,
x.
whatever it equals becomes the what's it called? Like the 2 to the 1. You got that from the equals 1?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I tried to mark your absent 3 times and failed.
Why?
So it's a good thing you showed up.
Why?
Because we thought you weren't here.
No walk last week. Okay. That.
You actually
Alright, example B. Ready for example B? Alright, so it's subtraction again. So it's going to be division or a fraction. Definition of log. So you're going to do 4 to the 1 equals 2x squared over 8. Excuse me.
Oh, Lord.
And then you multiply by 8.
Multiply by 8. Then what?
Divide.
Divide.
Divide by 2. And then what?
Square root.
Square root. So you're going to do plus or minus square root.
Plus.
No, both. You're
Oh.
going to do both. Alright, now, check your answer. Is that going to be a problem? So if I plug in positive 4 into a square, that's okay. If you plug in negative 4, it's still okay. So both of them are acceptable answers.
Can you slap it go with the first one?
Oh?
Can you slap it go with the first one?
Let the people finish this one first. That noise you hear is one of my students. Remember, we are being recorded.
I wonder what it is.
Yeah, I wonder who that was. Alright, you said you needed number 1?
You're Tyrese's brother.
I think you.
Alright, example C. Example C.
Copy. Copy.
I'll just give you this paper.
That works.
Alright. Well, you should start copying from C. Okay. So here, this is log base 3 of 6 plus. What does plus do to logs? Multiplication. Very good. So it's 6 times x minus 9. And then the definition of log says what?
It's 3 to the third.
3 to the third
Equals
equals 6 times x minus 9. 3 to the third is 27. Distribute the 6. And I will pause while you catch up. Although I don't really want to.
How do you guys not 6, but 3 to the third?
I take the base and raise it to the number over here.
Oh, okay. I'm special.
Not that.
Add 54 to both sides. That gives me 81 equals 6x. Divide by 6. And when you put it in the calculator, you get 27 halves.
What?
81 over 6 is 27 halves. It is okay if you can't do that in your head. I only remember from this morning. Alright, one thing you want to do is make sure that if you plug 27 halves in, it doesn't make it negative or 0. 27 halves is like 13.5. 13.5 is bigger than 9, so that expression is positive. Right? 13.5 minus 9 is positive. So that's okay. You want to avoid negative numbers in the log. Ready for D? Okay, D. What does that addition do to the log, dude?
It's multiply.
Multiply. You're a ventriloquist, dude?
Yeah.
That was a very feminine sounding voice.
I can do anybody's voice.
Oh, awesome. Alright, so now you're going to do 2 to the 5th. 2 to the 5th equals x times x minus 3.
I did have the 2. The 2 5.
This 2 to that 5.
But one of the 5.
No.
5 cubed. Not 5 cubed, 5 squared.
This, the base is over here. Definition of log, remember, you do x to the b equals a.
The loss is never cubed because it's about 3.
Yeah, okay. Alright, what's 2 to the 5th, Aiden?
2 to the 5th?
2 to the 5th.
32.
32. And I'm going to multiply that out, so it'll be x squared minus 3x. Oh, I remember this problem now. Move the 32 over, that's going to be x squared minus 3x minus 32. Andy, can you factor that for us?
No.
That's right, this is not factorable. So, guess what do you do when it's not factorable?
Oh no.
The 0 with the slash in it.
No, you do is it this function thing?
Quadratic formula. Please control your enthusiasm.
Yay! Yeah, man.
We're recording.
I wish you could see some of these faces.
Curses again.
Alright, so it's negative b, so it's 3 plus or minus square root of b squared. That's 9 minus 4 times a. A is 1, and c is negative 32. All over 2.
Why?
So it's 3 plus or minus the square root of 9 plus 128 over 2. So that's going to be 3 plus or minus square root of 137 over 2.
What?
Wait,
You lost me at that point.
Oh, just copy this part.
You got it wrong. You got it wrong.
Okay, you want me to explain it all?
Yeah.
Alright, so remember the formula, quadratic formula looks like negative b plus or minus the square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. A is 1. B is negative 3.
Is that a formula that we learned like last?
Since algebra 1. You did it in algebra 1, you did it in geometry, and we did it in algebra 2.
Wait, can you hold it again?
I ain't not good.
Do you want me to explain further? You good. This is one of those questions you decide like, maybe he'll give me partial credit here. I'm going to stop.
Yeah, that's what I do. Exactly what I do.
Yes, but these are doable, right? These are doable.
No, they're not.
I did.
No, these. I'm talking
I'm
about
just
these.
trying to make it through the year.
I did.
Alright, yeah. So you have to decide, how badly do I want that A? Wait, I don't have an A. Okay, I'm skipping that problem. Alright, so now. Oh my gosh, Dave, I just recorded that. Alright. Okay, so here's what you do. You have to do 3 plus square root of 137. And that's going to be a pretty big number. So the 3 plus is not going to be a problem. So 3 minus, that's iffy. So you get a calculator out. So So I'm going to do 3 minus square root of 137 on the calculator. So 3 minus square root of 137. That gives me negative 8.7. But remember, it's being divided by 2, so it's smaller than that. Divide that by 2, and you got negative 4.35. Now, you're plugging it into this expression, right? It's a plain old x. Put a negative number in there, and it fails. You don't have to check the second one. It fails on the first one. So you got to reject the negative version. So final answer is 3 plus square root of 137 over 2.
Do we always check it after we get the answer?
Yes.
Sounds kind of.
But sometimes you don't have to be very thorough. 3 plus square root of 137, that's pretty big.
Yeah.
Right, it's at least like, I don't know. So 12 squared is 144, so that's around 11. So 3 plus 11 is about 14, divided by 2 is 7. Okay, it's not that big. But it's bigger than 3, right? As long as it's bigger than 3, that's going to work. Okay, just 2 more examples, and we're done for today. Just 2 more examples.
I was trying to ignore it, but he looked better at me.
All right, this is addition, so it's multiplication. So it's log base 6 of x squared minus 9 times 3 equals 3. So then you're going to do 6 to the third equals, I'm going to go ahead and distribute that. That'll be 3x squared minus 27. What is 6 to the third? Ooh, hey, you did that last time. Can you do 6 to the third? Okay, he looks constipated. We'll just go ahead and do that. All right.
I was coming towards that direction.
Oh, okay. All right. So add 20. Okay, because we have a square, but there is no other variable. So that means you can get the x squared by itself. So I'm going to add 27 to both sides. And what is that? 243? Oops. Divide by 3.
Isn't that like 17? No.
81. And then you take the square root of both sides. So it's plus or minus 9. Square root of 81 is 9. So I'll do the square root. All right. If I plug in positive 9 into x squared, that's okay. It's 81 minus 9. If I plug in negative 9, it's the same effect. Positive 81 minus 9. So that's good. Both answers are good. Ready for the last example? Last example. It's a minus, so it's a fraction. Log base 5 of x squared minus 8 over 4 equals 2. So it's 5 squared equals x squared minus 8 over 4.
Wait.
Waiting.
You're really fast. This is like mental torture. Okay, go ahead.
I wish you would just tell me to pause. So pause for a second. Let me catch
Well, I
up.
think it's rude to interrupt you.
Have you noticed the rest of the class?
Well,
I'm
not
still-
raised
Do I
like
get
that.
mad when I get interrupted?
I wasn't raised like that. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'll try to pause myself then. How's that?
When I say pause, it really means that I'm mad at you. And you just said something I didn't like. So I don't say pause. I say wait.
I said something you don't like?
No, I said wait. I didn't say pause. I said wait.
Oh. Right, you good now?
How do you do it if there's a number before the log?
I'm going to do a couple problems from the homework, okay? What's 5 squared?
25.
25. So now you're going to do x squared minus 8 over 4. So what are you going to multiply?
4.
4 and 25. So that's 100. So you got x squared minus 8. So you add 8 to both sides, you get 108.
Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, so you do plus or minus square root of 108, and you go, I don't know what that is. So you pull out your cheating calculator.
Yeah.
Somebody took my cheating calculator.
Pause and vote, but the negative doesn't.
Who took my cheating calculator?
You just had it.
No, this is my regular calculator. This is not my cheating calculator.
What is your cheating calculator?
Oh, it's on the floor. All right.
Dang, that really is close.
I'm telling you. There you go. Square root of 108 is 6 root 3. That's why I call it my cheating calculator, because it does work you're supposed to know how to do. All right, so it's plus or minus 6 root 3 equals x. Now, am I going to reject either of those? Remember, you're plugging it into x squared. If you plug 6 root 3 into there, that's not a problem, right? 6 squared, well, it's going to be 108, right? Remember, you're squaring that. 108 is definitely bigger than 8. If you plug in negative 6 root 3, it's still 108, because negative becomes positive when you square it. So, both of them are the answers.
So squared equations, like is it like always right if you get the answer to it?
If you have an x squared. Now, if I had an x sitting over here, on the side over here, right, you might have to reject it because of the x over on the side. But for the x squared, that's usually very friendly. Okay? All right, I am going to do a couple problems from the homework.
Can we do 1, 3, and 6?
All right, I got a request for 1, 3, Trevion. 1, 3, and 6. Bad news, I don't know what they are. Tell me what number 1 is.
7 log 2 base 2 x minus 2 equals negative 14.
Okay, so whenever you do these problems, you want to isolate the log. So I'm going to divide by 7 first. This is number 1 from the homework. So you don't, make sure you have the answers to at least these 3 problems. All right, now you're going to do 2 to the negative 2 equals x minus 2. And remember, if you have a negative exponent, you make it a positive exponent in the denominator. And then you square it. So that's 1/4. And then you add 2 to both sides.
So if x equals like
2 1/4.
yeah.
And then you go, okay, will that work? Remember, this is what you got to plug it in. Is 2 1/4 bigger than 2?
Yes.
Yes, so that's going to be positive. I'll zoom out so you can see the whole thing.
Let's go.
Do you need me to re-explain anything?
Give me a second. Wow. Why'd you do? Why'd you do 1/2 or 1/2?
Okay, when you have a negative exponent, you put it in the denominator and make the exponent positive.
Oh. Okay.
Like, no, never mind. Okay.
How did you know that off the bat? 2 1/4.
It's 2 plus 1/4.
Oh, I thought it still said like 1/2 and then.
No, it's 2 plus 1/4.
Sorry, I didn't see that.
It would be more amazing if I put 9/4. That would be like, that's, oh, I'll do no, that's a, but 2 plus 1/4, not 2 1/4. Alright, ready for 3? Alright, tell me number 3.
Negative 7 log 11. Negative 7 x minus 5
Equals what?
0.
Okay. Wait. I copied that wrong. You don't have any parentheses, do you?
I do have parentheses.
Oh, you do have parentheses. Alright, so then you gotta divide by negative 7.
Whatever it is.
Number 3. So that becomes log base 11, negative 7x minus 5 equals 0. And then you're going to do 11 to the 0 equals the negative x, negative 7x minus 5. What's 11 to the 0?
1.
1.
1.
Awesome sauce.
So you add 5 to both sides. So the 6 equals negative 7x. Divide by negative 7. So negative 6/7 equals x.
Wait, oh,
Uh-huh.
never mind.
It
That's
doesn't
right,
work.
because the other thing's negative.
Well, if I plug in negative 6/7 into
Oh, 6,
net,
7.
It's right.
it's right.
That's
I got
bad.
7, 6.
That's how you lose a point.
I do know you.
And 6.
Let's pause while some students
Wait,
catch up.
instead of 6, can we do 5?
Yeah.
5.
And you still have to check the answer?
Right? So when I plug it in, it's going to be negative 7 times negative 6/7.
I have a question. So
Go ahead.
when you're plugging this in, how do you write that in the calculator? How do you put that in the calculator?
I only worried about the inside here.
Oh, okay.
Okay? So I would do negative 7 parentheses negative, what was it, 6/7?
Yeah.
6/7. And then it's a minus 5, minus 5. And you want a positive number. And 1 is positive enough. So that's fine. You just can't have 0 or a negative number. Okay? Alright. And the last example I'm willing to do, number 5. Read it to me, please.
1 plus 3 log 9
Bless you.
parentheses 5b
No, thank you.
plus 9 is equal to 10.
Alright. So you want to isolate the log. So I'm going to get rid of the 1 first because it's being added to it. So I subtract 1 from both sides. Then I'm going to get rid of this 3. So I'm going to divide by 3. So now I'm going to do
9 to the 3rd
9 to the 3rd equals 5v plus 9.
is 9 to the 3rd, right?
729. I only know that because you're not the first person to ask me to do this problem. Subtract 9, subtract 9.
Got it.
So that's 720 equals 5v. Divide by 5.
We got
Is
it.
that like 144?
Yeah, 144.
That's true.
Yes, that'll work. It's positive, and there's only positive stuff up here, so there's no hope for it to turn negative.
What happens if you have dual logs on both sides? You just go to what we were doing.
Yeah, log on both sides, you've been doing those. Yes, ma'am. Why didn't I do number 6?
No, now.
All right, let me pause this or stop this. Stop.